I'm joined today by Assemblyman Antwan McClellan. Thanks for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
And so we're talking all things budget, and I know this is, what is your fourth budget?
Third, well, fourth budget, actually.
Fourth budget,
yes,
right, that you've been part of.
Yes.
And they get more interesting, I'm sure,
Yes,
as the years go on. You know, we released a report leading into this year's budget expressing some concern about the rate of spending and the impact that's really going to have on probably both residents and businesses in the state.
Yes.
What are you hearing about it, and what are your thoughts about where this is all leading?
Well, I know that the businesses are scared and concerned. You know, at this point, there's a rumor that there's a business tax hike of about 2.5%, which is going to be scary for businesses. You know, we're struggling as it is as a state, and now we're going to increase taxes on our most important, businesses in this state. It's very scary for them, and it's hard to retain businesses as it is.
Well, and you represent a district that is in the southern part of the state. And we, like to talk about we're all one state, but in fact there are different dynamics, of course, in different parts of the state.
Correct.
So let's talk about generally first about what you're hoping in terms of for the southern part of the state out of this budget, and then get a little bit more into the industries in South Jersey.
Sure. Well, hopefully there's more of an investment. Fortunately, last year Senator Testa was able to get a bill passed that would help our boardwalks, and
Yes.
boardwalks are very important. So we have a lot of our municipalities that are applying for that and utilizing that money. So we need to see more investment like that. South Jersey itself, particularly Cape May County, sends over $660 million in tourism tax dollars to the state, and they receive $1 million back, which is not good, especially when you have Essex County that receives about $6 million back and they only supply $4 million. So, as you know, we shouldn't be picking winners and losers, especially at that type of amount of money when South Jersey is dedicated, specifically Cape May County.
Yes. Well, in fact, you might remember we did a report on transportation. Now it's 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes.
And we just talked about how, it's the same gas tax for everybody, but there are more drivers really in the southern part of the state than there are on the north because of the public transportation system, which we're going to get to. Mm-hmm. But also that you're generating so much from a gas tax revenue, but you're not getting it back, right, from a transportation infrastructure.
Yes, and I know you're going to get into a little bit, but New Jersey Transit is sparse in South Jersey, and that's a major problem, especially with this budget as we're trying to save New Jersey Transit. But how about come to South Jersey and help, get our employees to work, and we can help you save New Jersey Transit. So let's increase that. We always struggle with New Jersey Transit, and to have them, a majority of this budget trying to save them, and South Jersey not being able to reap the benefits of that is very disappointing.
So, as you mentioned, not much transportation, but you do have a lot of tourism, right, in Cape May County. So how's that going, and what are some of the concerns? In particular, I know that the subject of energy, of course, comes up when we talk about tourism. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, there definitely needs to be an investment in energy and all sources of energy to kind of, upgrade our portfolio. But there's ways to do that, and forcing, things like windmills and stuff like that on our areas is not the proper way, especially without talking to us. But there also needs to be an investment in just the people itself. Cape May County, I feel, is the tourism capital of the state, and you need to talk to them to see how we do more with less. And that's a big learning experience that this administration can take on how to do more with less. Instead of overspending, let's use the things that we have to our assets, and rightfully so, it's going to be a better place.
There have been some ideas put forth in terms of reduced spending, particularly, of course, the add-ons that have gone on, right, in the state.
Yes.
And I don't think you were even on that list, were you, in terms of the add-ons from last year?
No, definitely not. It's funny how we're always forgotten, but we continue to try to fight for South Jersey and see what we can do. And then there's ways to adjust this state to make it a better state, and spending more is not the way to do that. And this administration fails to see that, especially since 2018. I think we're over 50% increase in spending. Mm-hmm. And where's it going? Where's it coming from? It's coming from those mom and pops, those people that are struggling, those middle classes, people that are going to face the higher tax rates.
Yeah.
And then businesses are leaving. Our brightest are not coming back when they go off to college. So where's the revenue going to come from? There's opportunities here, and we need to seek those opportunities. We need to do better with our pension system. We need to do better with our health care. And it's just not happening. It's spend, spend, spend.
Well, and you mentioned pension and benefits, which of course it's been a subject we've been on from our onset, mm-hmm. but it's a subject that is kind of elusive, right, to people to really feel like, why do I care about that? Except this year, of course, it impacted property taxes pretty significantly, right?
Yes.
Health benefits specifically, right, for all the public workers in most towns and counties, not all, but depending upon which healthcare system they use, but must have been over 20%. That bill's going to come due probably the next cycle, right, for property taxes? Are you hearing about that down there?
We've talked about it a little bit, and we are definitely concerned. Any type of property tax increase is a problem. And especially when you're really not making the money financially to include that. So what's going to happen? People are going to leave. And you have our neighboring states that seem to be able to keep people and take our people, which is crazy. People are going to Pennsylvania. Who wants to go to Pennsylvania? We need to stay in New Jersey. It's a problem. But, you hear that in Delaware and Florida, and you're retiring and you're going to these other neighboring states. Why don't you not want to stay in New Jersey, period? Specifically South Jersey, because I'm always going to, celebrate Cape May County. But nobody wants to stay around because it's too expensive to stay here, and that's a problem. And if other states can do it, why can't we do it? We shouldn't be worried about trying to be the California of the East Coast. We should be worried about being New Jersey.
Yeah. In fact, it's interesting. The last 3 months, 2 people, and I'm in the northern part of the state, 2 people have elected to move to Delaware.
Yes.
Which is really surprising to me. I guess it feels much further away for me, obviously, and it is, than Pennsylvania. But Delaware has become very attractive for especially retirees.
Yeah.
And in spite of the efforts on Stay New Jersey, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is something that is not enough, I guess, to keep them here in the state. And do you actually think Stay New Jersey is going to come to fruition?
I don't think so. I think there needs to be a better plan, and everybody needs to be placed at the table, Republicans and Democrats, and the administration. No one person knows it better than anybody else. So why are we not trying to make New Jersey a better state together, as opposed to trying to make it a partisan issue? And it's really ridiculous at this point in time. If you care about the state, then let's all do it together and be one to save our state.
We've heard that theme about a lack of collaboration from several individuals. And at the same time, I also know that in the Assembly, which you're a member, a lot of new members have come in. Have you seen any difference in terms of the dynamics across the aisle? Primarily, they came in across the aisle, although some Republicans came in. Mm-hmm. Has there been a different dynamic in the Assembly?
We're still early on. We've had one voting session. So I know the people that have been here for a while still kind of talk across the aisle. But the one, theme is that the administration is controlling everything. So we can talk with our mates and try to figure out things what we want to do. But the administration, dwarfs it and laughs at it and seems to think that, this collaboration doesn't make sense to them. And that's the very disappointing thing, is that great ideas can come from anywhere. We don't need to all celebrate and pound our chest when something comes about. But if you don't listen to everybody, then you're not going to know what's best for this state.
Yeah. Well, and I would imagine you were particularly, concerned when you saw recently the report came out in the last month or 2 about awarding of contracts, right, to both minority and they didn't include veterans, but they should have,
yes.
Minority and women-owned businesses. I imagine you're hearing that from your constituents. They're just not getting the contracts. And do you think things are going to change?
They say it's going to change, but let's see. This report should have been taken, we should have gotten this report back like 3 or 4 years ago. Why are we just getting it now? And why are we still struggling with the administration to sit down and talk about it? And that's the disappointing thing, is like, we know there's a disparity, and we know we can fix this disparity and do some things to make sure that everybody has opportunity to gainfully have success in their business through these contracts that are being released through the state.
So what are some of the ideas in terms of how to make it better?
To educate people on what's going on with state contracts and how to be about them. Talk about co-ops and things of that nature, collaboratives through, whether it's in municipalities or through counties or tri-counties or, multiple counties. But there's opportunity there, and we just need to make sure we educate everybody on how to get contracts, so you take it out of just a certain group of individuals or group of businesses that continue to get the contracts over and over again.
So, right, so you're not saying do anything a whole lot different, but engage more, right? And
Correct.
Bring those businesses in, because there is a requirement that has not been fulfilled, right, of how much of state spending ought to be awarded to
Right.
the women and minority-owned businesses, along with veterans.
Correct, and that's how everybody can be successful. If the administration can spend millions of dollars on telling everybody they should wear a mask, why can't we spend millions of dollars on how we should gain and fruitfully make our businesses successful?
So anything else that is on your mind from the budget, and what your expectations are, and what you're hoping will come out of this budget?
Expectations and hopes are 2 different things. So
Fair enough.
I would hope South Jersey could be a part of this budget some sort of way. and to look out for, a thriving tourism business that does a lot of things. And there's a lot of mom and pop businesses that are in South Jersey that, are making this state run. So that's a hope, is that somehow South Jersey can kind of fit into this. And that's the real South Jersey, not Trenton. The real South Jersey is, Cape May County, Atlantic County, and stuff
Touché.
like that. Yes. And then expectation is that, our small businesses, our moms and pops, and the people that are, middle class are going to get taxed a lot. And that's a shame. And I think, with that happening, we're going to lose more people. And that's very unfortunate. So until, Republicans are allowed at the table to have a fruitful discussion on how to make the state better, it's not going to be any better.
Well, we'll have you back after the budget and kind of see which hopes or expectations were actually achieved.
Please do. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being with me.